Hey everybody, so welcome to Tarot Tuesday, and I was kind of thinking about the tip I'd like to give you this week. And one of the things that I really enjoy is working with my intuition and knowing the difference between my brain and my intuition, and when my intuition is firing versus when my brain is firing. So I thought what I would do is demonstrate for you a little exercise, and you can try this and play with this on your own, or you could play it with me. So get ready if you want to, and grab a pen, piece of paper, and we're gonna write something down. All right, so the first thing I wanna say is that when I'm teaching people and when I'm working with people on reading cards, the biggest thing I believe is that I'm actually teaching you to become a reader, not how to read the cards. And there's a state, an energetic state that we fall into when we're reading tarot cards. And I think it's true with any deck, but when it comes to tarot, one of the things that you want to know, I feel that's important, my own thing, is that the answer to the question has already been answered when the querent asks it. I know that sounds odd. So our job is to energetically tell the truth of the card. Tell the truth of the card to the person we're sitting with. So what do I mean by that? Well, sometimes we think we have to come up with this great story, and as I say, giving advice is the kiss of death, because that's when your intuition will shut down. The minute you start analyzing, you're not reading anymore. And that's where a lot of readers get into trouble. So, one of the things that I want to say about that is you can work with this idea. You can work with how to stay in touch with what's really going on and save a reading that's going south with this exercise. Okay, so what I'm going to invite you to do is go ahead and center yourself in yourself. Bring down the white light from the heavens if you choose, or whatever energy you choose to draw in. I choose to draw in white light. And as I do that, I step into it with you. And I'm going to invite you, and I do this with my eyes open. I do a waking consciousness because I feel like my intuitive state is in that waking consciousness. So what we're going to do is go ahead and grab your pen. As my friend Sark says, get your thirsty pen and a piece of paper. And go ahead and write down 3 words. And I want you literally, don't think about it. I want you to just write those words down. It can be anything. It can literally be basketball. It can be envelope. It can be whatever's coming forward to you in this moment. And go ahead and write those 3 words down. And as you're writing those words down, I'm going to tell you that I absolutely hope you will come and join Card Reading Magic. I'm going to be putting the schedule up this week, and my dogs are doing stuff. I'm going to be putting up the schedule this week, so you'll get to see who's joining, but it's going to be one of the better ones I've done. I'm really excited about some of the information that's coming across and some of the just brilliance from the different speakers. Okay, so now that I've distracted you, what are your 3 words? Look at them. And now I'm going to invite you to turn the paper over or just look a different way. Don't actually look at what you wrote. Now, here's the thing I want to tell you. This reading is going to be about validating your intuition. Ready? So if you did that exercise, one of the things that you're going to experience in this is some ways to see how your intuition already knew what I was going to do. Now, how can that happen, right, when it's so random? But here's the thing, it's actually not. Because either we believe in who we are, we have that knowing, right, that what we're doing is real, or we kind of don't. So if you have that knowing, I'm going to invite you to come into that state of knowing. Breathe and drop your shoulders. I'm going to shuffle the cards, and I'm going to pull a card, 1 for each word. And as we do this, one of the things I want to remind you of is that time is on a continuum. So that means that the question you asked is applicable to you if you are watching this video. If you didn't watch it, if you just turned it off and you went, I don't want to watch it, then it's not applicable to you, and it really, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, So what I'm going to do is I am going to take these cards and apply them to the idea of 3 words. Now notice I don't know you personally yet. I'm not talking to you personally, and there's no way for me to actually give you advice from this space. It really is completely neutral. So the first card is the 3 of Cups, and that was reversed. Okay. But as you know, if you watch some of the earlier videos, you know that I don't read any cards reversed until after. And I have a good reason for that. And that's because I want the pure energy of the card before I start reversing it. Because the more I feel into what's going on with you, the more real and solid the reading becomes. So your second card is Page of Cups. And the third, reversed, is brain is the 9 of Swords. Woo! Now that is a reverse card, just so you know. I actually really like the 9 of Swords, and sometimes I'm going to start there, right? And I want you to go ahead and write the cards down that next to those words you wrote. And the reason I want you to do that is because something I say may not spark you, but something you look up in the deck you use may really bring to, into your mind or into your spirit, if you will, the answer to something you're looking at. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you is that I'm looking at this third card because I look at it as darkness, dawn, and light. And so sometimes the highest calling of a situation is grief. Sometimes we have to be torn away from something that has been completely not healthy for us. This is a card also, by the way, of someone who's quitting addiction. If you really think about it, it's kind of like if you've ever been in withdrawal from sugar or addiction of any kind, smoking or drinking, it's devastating. It feels like, and as you know on the blanket here, because we see all the symbols of the zodiac, it feels like the forces of the universe are against you. Now, even though it's a reversed energy, I feel like almost like it's a withholding energy in this, like almost not wanting to feel that inevitable something's over or it's painful. And just as a reminder, sometimes it's easier to feel it and just go through it than it is to go, I'm gonna not do this. Okay, so when we look at the other 2 cards, remember I said this was reversed. So 1 and 3 are reversed, and that is on either side of, obviously, the middle card. So what's dawning on you becomes a very important card. This is a message that's coming to you. It's an emotional message. If we look at that word you wrote down, this is a message and an offering of something perhaps that you really do want to do. Perhaps you haven't been really coming forward and going, gosh, that's something I really want. And when we look at the 3 of Cups, when we start there, if we look at that first word, one of the things that comes forward here is the idea that, gosh, this is a celebration. And why am I not partaking in that? So if we look at this now as a story, right, we put this together and we look at this story as, gosh, I didn't go to the wedding. I didn't go to the party. I didn't partake. Or someone got married and it hurt me. And this can be somebody even passed away and a gathering. I feel like it is an offering was made by someone. So there is a positive thing in here. And I don't want to put this as negative because I feel like sometimes if we look at the first card, it can be something that you sidestepped, didn't participate in. Look at that first word. What does it tell you? Second, what is that offer? Energetically, what does that mean? Go look up the word in the dictionary, look up your synonyms, and more importantly, what is your third word? And what did you write down? But remember, it's reversed, and what opposes exposes. So look at the word you wrote down and go look at the antonym. Same is true for the first card. Go look at the antonym. And what we've just done, I gotta move that back. What we've just done is we've personalized your intuition into these 3 cards. I really want to hear what you think of this and how this turned out for you. So please post right below on this video, and also share it with anybody that you think might find it interesting. And remember, subscribe to my channel so you'll get more instructional videos, intuitive videos, ideas for you to think about with your intuition. And I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody. Let me find the thing.